Hello everyone and welcome inside to UCCU Ballpark for Day 3 of 5A bracket play. I'm JT Wistersill, excited to be with you for our first matchup of the afternoon. That features the 13th ranked Wasatch Wasps taking on the 12th ranked Salem Hills Skyhawks. This is an elimination game, so the loser will have their season ended. The winner will go on to play the highest seed remaining in bracket 2, that being Olympus, after Jordan was eliminated yesterday by the Wasps. We'll dive more into that game as we go on today. Or excuse me, Salem Hills was eliminated, was the one that eliminated Jordan, and the Wasps were the ones that actually lost to Olympus. I think I would know that since I was on the call for both, but that's the type of week it's been. So let's look at things today. First, for the Wasps at the bats, Crew Erickson once again lead off. He did so phenomenally yesterday, starting our 4:30 game that ended up starting at night because of a delayed start. He started off with a home run. He'll be followed by Chet Wilson with Jackson Bolander batting third. Cole Zimmerman will bat fourth. Peyton Swap will follow him with Kelson Stocking. Due next, Jack Bluth will bat seventh. Tragan Shaw will bat eighth. And Kathy Anderson will bat ninth. For Salem Hills, Corbin Goal gets the start on the mound. Luke DeGraffenried on first. Luke DeGraffenried at catcher spot. Zach Nelson at first. Cam Corbin at second. Charlie Cushing at third. Zaylen Fenn at shortstop. Wyatt Hickman in left field. Nolan Miller in center field. And Spencer Vance in right field as we're set to get action underway. First delivery from Goal is high. First, let's look at how the Wasps got here. They started our action for bracket play, defeating Jordan 9-7. They had 5 runs in the top of the 7th to come back and snag the win in that one. As the ball's fouled off, putting our count at 1-1. Then last night, Wasatch fell to Olympus 7-1. Landing them here for Salem Hills. They also lost to Olympus, but it was on the first day. They fell 9-5 in that contest. And then an absolute thriller that needed extra innings to start our day yesterday. They were able to defeat the Jordan Beat Diggers, eliminating them, and advance to this elimination game. Another's fouled off. That'll take the count to 2-2. A low delivery there will bring us to full count the first time we've reached it on the day, and it comes in our first batter. Erickson is retired. He did not agree with the call. He'll hop along the first baseline before he heads back to the dugout. So Erickson retired early. That brings up Chet Wilson. Wilson had a home run in the team's first game versus Jordan. Waits delivery from Goal. Salem Hills got scored on 5 times versus Jordan in the first inning. They ended up trailing 10-1 after the first 2 innings, but they were able to mount a comeback. They'll hope not to play from behind today. 0-2 the count. Chopped foul. The 0-2 pitch will once again be delivered. It's fouled off by Wilson. So Corbin Goal locked in early. Seahawks coming into this one 19-12 on the season. Wasatch 17-14. Outside pitch nearly got Wilson. See Gold make his way off the mound slightly as he thought it was. But that would be the decisive pitch that got it done. Wilson swings on the drop 3 and is retired. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Jackson Bolander. Bolander awaits the delivery. Ball 1 is set. These two teams have played each other 4 times already this season. The Region 9 familiar foes from 5A. The first matchup came in a tournament down in Heber City, where Salem Hills won 16-5. As this one will be lifted into right field, it'll take a bounce past Vance. It's going to be at least a double for Bolander. Bolander's going to turn it into 3, and he'll get there. So Jackson Bolander with a triple. On the booming shot into right field. That one went just past the glove of Vance, who after he'd missed player could do nothing but turn around and give chase. So the Wasps with an opportunity to take an early lead. Cole Zimmerman, the DH, now due up. Mentioned the first game, the Wasps and Salem Hills played. That one was a 16-5 win for the Skyhawks. Chopper hit directly to Zach Nelson, who taps the bag to leave one stranded on. After Zimmerman is retired.
For Wasatch, in the top of the first inning, there were no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base.
So we'll turn things over and look at the batting order now. For Salem Hills, Spencer Vance will be leading off, followed by the designated hitter, Sam Richardson. Zaylin Fenn will bat third. Batting cleanup will be Charlie Cushing. Cam Corbin in the 5th spot. Nolan Miller will follow him. Wyatt Hickman will bat 7th. Zach Nelson will bat 8th. And rounding out the order of the Skyhawks will be Luke DeGraffenrein. For the Wasps in the field, it'll be Casey Anderson on the mound. Kelson Stocking at catcher. Jackson Bolander at first. Jack Bluth at second. Chet Wilson at third. Carter Bucad at shortstop. Drew Erickson in left field. Peyton Swap in center field. And Tragan Shaw in right field. So Wasps able to put a man in scoring position off the huge triple from Bolander. We'll see if Salem Hills is able to have the same production at the bat. This is the Salem Hills team. We mentioned didn't score until the top of the first. They had 3 runs going into the 4th, and that was when they exploded for 7th in their game versus Jordan. We'll see how they fail today. So as Vance steps in, Casey Anderson will deliver in a moment. These teams also, being region opponents, played a series back in April, with Salem Hills taking the first one, 13-3. First pitch is swung at, and it's set high into left field, and easily making the grab is Erickson. So Salem Hills took the first game 13-3. Then in extra innings, the Wasps would win it 4-2. And in the final game of that series, the Wasps would take it 9-2. So on the season, these teams are 2-2. Richards directs it foul. Richards, the designated hitter. Waits Anderson's pitch. And he sends it high into center field. Making the grab was Peyton Swap.
The shortstop, number 8, Salem Fenn.
Zaylen Fenn now due up. Fenn was the first pitcher of the week for Salem Hills. In the team's game they lost to Olympus. Also had a 2-run homer in the first game. He'll let ball one fast. Fenn rips one into left field. It's high. It's gone. That one went over our secondary fence. What a shot from Fenn. His second homer of the week. He'll round third. After getting the scoring started for Salem Hills, takes off the helmet, gets the taps, and awaits his teammates. So Fenn with the first homer of day 3 of play. Makes it a 1-0 Salem Hills lead. Bring up Charlie Cushing. He's been very productive hitting in both of the previous games this week here at Utah Valley. Cushing pops it up. Will it be playable? It will not be, as it sails deep into the Salem Hills dugout. So what looked like it was going to be 3 up, 3 down for our just another quick inning as the first one. The Wasps got 4 deep in their batting order, but Salem Hills looked to be in trouble going 3 up, 3 down. Instead, Fenn smokes a homer. Two won the count. I'll go to 2-2 after the swing and miss by Cushing. And Zaylen Fenn's 4th homer of the season. If these stats aren't updated for the current week, could be his 5th as well, as it's the second of 5A bracket play. Full count. Anderson, he'll deliver. It's popped short and high and caught by shortstop Carter Boucad, who retires Cushing on the short pop out. So each team goes 4 batters deep, but it's the Wasps with it's the Salem Hills Skyhawks with the early lead after the home run from Zaylen Fenn. We move into the second. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Through 1 inning, the Skyhawks lead the Wasps 1-0 after Zaylen Fenn's huge homer. Each team with 1 hit after Jackson Bolander drilled a triple into right field. But Cole Zimmerman grounded out to first on a hop. Peyton Swap now due up. Swap lines one into left field. That'll bounce, reaching the very corner of left field. And that'll be a double for Swap. Swap gets the hitting started in the top of the second.
The catcher, number 23, Kelson Stocking.
Kelson Stocking now due up. The catcher will look to advance. As he shows bunt for a moment, then pulls back. Oh, 1 the count, with Swap settled on second. Showing bunt is stalking. He'll foul it off, moving to 0-2 in the count. This is the matchup between our 12th and 13th seeded teams. The highest 2 remaining seeds in 5A bracket play, but both formidable opponents who have hung tough and secured upsets along the week. This ball's fouled off. Both the teams that helped eliminate the Jordan Beat Diggers, with each one handing them a loss. Goal, checks behind, delivers. Going for third is Swap. Did they get him? They did not. Swap slides in safely to third. This was Charlie Cushing who tried to get the tag. So that's going to bring out head coach of Salem Hills, Scott Haney. Talk things over with our third plate umpire, Coach Haney for Salem Hills. Wasps are led by head coach McKay Jacobson. Tying run now on third. Stocking went down swinging. So Jack Bluth now due up. Bluth has been a tough out all week. He's fouled off balls repeatedly. He's stayed aggressive at the plate. The winner of this one will play at 4:30 today as Olympus awaits them. High chopper will take a bounce. Coming off the mound to play it was Goal, who gets the out at first, but not before Swap comes home. So we have a tie game. Tragan Shaw, the right fielder, now up with Casey Anderson on deck. And if they can reach him, we'll turn it back over to the top of the order. Our first game yesterday that featured Salem Hills, that one versus Jordan, went 3.5 hours. As we needed 10 innings to decide the winner. 1-1 the count, which is going to bring out Luke DeGraffenried to talk things over. Looking at all of our action from yesterday. We talked about Jordan and Salem Hills. The Salem Hills upset already, and Wasatch fallen to Olympus. But in our other games, it was Orm who defeated Maple Mountain 12-7. Orm got the bats hot in the middle innings to knock out the Golden Eagles. And then it was Lehigh who bested Bountiful in what was a thrilling nightcap. 5-1 the score. Bountiful led heading into the third inning, 1-0. But then Lehigh would explode for all 5 of their runs in the bottom of the third. And then we would go scoreless the rest of the way. As a defensive battle ensued, neither side yielded anything else. So that one inning proved to be the difference for the Pioneers. The infield now gets involved as our home plate umpire has gone over to talk things over. It looks like Goal is in the dugout getting looked at for something. I don't know if it's... He's wiping his nose, so... Seems to be okay now. It'll come back over. It actually wasn't Goal. That was Charlie Cushing, who was tended to for a moment, but we're set to resume the 1-1 pitch. Shaw. That's the first strike pass. Shaw lift this into left field. Moving back on it and securing the high grab was Wyatt Hickman in left field. So Hickman gets the last out needed at the top of the second. But the Wasps do bring in a run off the hit. Driving in that run was Booth. But we turn things over in our now tie game. We'll see if the Skyhawks can once again pull ahead in the bottom of the second at UCCU Ballpark. Due up for Wasatch will be Cam Corbin, Nolan Miller, Wyatt Hickman. Or be Cam Corbin, then Nolan Miller, and Wyatt Hickman in the hole. Lone run of the game for Salem Hills was scored off the homer from Fenn. Corbin on the season, he's batting .284. 74 at-bats, 21 hits. 8 runs scored. He's 15 walks and 10 strikeouts to his name. He'll move to 2-1 of the count after the outside delivery. Now 3-1. We've yet to see a batter be walked today. Anderson in danger of doing so here. So Coburn heads to first. Nolan Miller now due up. Miller, the center fielder. Miller chops one foul. Miller on the season, batting .303, 76 at-bats. It's 23 hits to 11 runs. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Miller has only had 1 walk on the season, but also just 3 strikeouts. This ball sailed foul. Or that was actually the wrong player on the roster. So Miller actually has 19 strikeouts and 7 walks. 1-2 the count at the moment. He'll even it at 2-2 after fouling 2 consecutive pitches off. Miller chops another foul. Beautiful day at UCCU Ballpark, and what's been a great week of baseball. Outside delivery takes us to full count. Leading run on first, and Coburn. Miller misses the ball. He strikes out. Opportunity for a double play. Do they get it? They do not. That was Jack Bluth on second, who went for the tag on the stealing Coburn. And Bluth just missed him.
Left fielder, number 7, Wyatt Hickman.
So that'll bring up Wyatt Hickman. Hickman, the left fielder. Hickman batting .295 on the season. 77 at-bats. Has 12 hits, 3 runs. Anderson. Chopper into foul territory. One our count, just one out in the inning. With Coburn now on second after the steal. Hickman delivers another foul. Anderson. Looking for what would be his second consecutive strikeout after retiring Miller. He'll deliver. Low ball to even the count. Hickman on the season, 10 strikeouts to 7 walks. Two. And another is fouled off by Hickman. Coburn at second. Anderson looking for a strikeout. Instead, he'll have to settle for a pop out as this one's directed into right field. Tag up opportunity for Coburn. He'll go for it. Wilson gets it, but not before. Coburn reaches third.
Playing first base, number 1, Zach Nelson.
Zach Nelson now due up, so it's Nelson. Then DeGraff and Reed. We'd turn it back over to the top of the order. This one, a shallow drive that'll drop into center field and bring in the leading run. So Nelson swings immediately. He's batting .268 on the year and gets his 15th hit. That'll bring up DeGraff and Reed with just Nelson on.
Now batting the catcher, number 5, Luke DeGraff and Reed.
DeGraff and Reed goes to 0-1 in the count. DeGraff and Reed on the year, he's batting 156 in 77 at-bats, 12 hits, scored 3 runs. Going for second is Miller. Did they get him? They did not. So it's Zach Nelson who's safe on second. Off the steal, Spencer Vance will bring with him the top of the order. Outside delivery. Brings the count to 2-1 with 2 outs. DeGraff and Reed will call for time, stepping out. Three-1 the count after DeGraff and Reed let the ball pass to the outside. Anderson looking for a second strikeout of the inning. Looks like our scoreboard was off, and it was 2-2 going into that pitch, as it was a ball delivery. Full count. Anderson gets DeGraff and Reed to bite. His second strikeout through 9 batters faced. But Skyhawks once again score a run as Nelson was able to bring in Cam Coburn. So 2-1, the lead for the Skyhawks as we head into the third. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. 2 innings in the books in our first game of the day at UCCU Ballpark. Skyhawks lead 2-1. It'll be Carter Boucad, Drew Erickson, and Chet Wilson due up. With Erickson comes the top of the order.
Leading off for Wasatch, the shortstop, number 11, Carter
Boucad
Buchard.
watches strike one pass. Our second game of the day today, a reminder, will feature the Bountiful Orem rematch. That's scheduled for 1:30. While we have an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the games that reached our 2 teams here yesterday. First, Wasatch Olympus. It was 1-1 early after both runs in that game were scored by the first batters or the leadoff hitters for each team. We would go scoreless through the second and the third, but the fourth and the fifth, when the offense would finally click for Olympus, they scored a combined 6 runs, and unfortunately the Wasps just not able to figure things out the rest of the way. They would fall that one. 7-1. High ball takes a bounce off the glove and gets to first in time to Zaylen Fenn. So Fenn, the shortstop, makes the delivery to retire his fellow shortstop at first, playing that ball off the glove of Corbin Goal.
Left fielder, number 14, Drew Erickson.
So that'll bring back Crew Erickson, who struck out in his first plate appearance. Erickson on the season, batting .408, 76 at-bats, has 31 hits, 11 runs. This one delivered into foul territory. So 0-2 the count. Erickson struck out in his previous plate appearance. Again, Goal get him again. We'll have to wait and see after another's fouled off. Erickson has struck out 10 times on the season. Outside ball will pass. And another will be fouled off over everyone into foul territory to the right. 1-2, the count remains. Erickson. Watch the low pitch pass. Erickson in 4 at-bats yesterday, had the 1 hit. That was the home run. He was quiet the rest of the game. He'll look to make contact here. And he will. It's popped straight up. Calling for it. And getting the grab is first baseman Zach Nelson. That'll bring up Chet Wilson.
Third baseman, number 5, Chet Wilson.
Wilson struck out in his first plate appearance, but on the season, he's batting .293. 75 plate appearances, 22 hits, 20 runs scored. Also brought in 20. Wilson, a 20-20-20 club member. 3 home runs on the season. In yesterday's game, he had 4 at-bats, had 1 hit. Can he have another as he lifts it into left field? He will not. So Wilson retired in his second at-bat. That's 3 up, 3 down just as quickly. Salem Hills looking sharp defensively. We'll see if they can keep the bats hot. They've scored a run in the first and second inning. Can they do so in the third? Find out next. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Skyhawks lead it 2-1 with the bottom of the third. Getting started. Spencer Vance, first batter of the order for Salem Hills, due up. And he's the leadoff hitter. Last time we saw Vance, he flew out into left field. Vance is batting .388. .38 hits, 25 runs, and 98 plate appearances. He'll chop this one. Yeah, that is fouled off. It looked like it took a bounce inside the batter's box first. So 2-1 the count. Salem Hills with 2 hits. They've scored 2 runs, 1 in the first and the second. Grounder will be stopped by Bolander, but Anderson couldn't make the grab on first and shaken up off the hit is Vance. So Vance at first. I'm going to look at him. He was shaken up. He looks all right and seems as if he's going to try to stay and remain in the game. That the first error of the game, charged to the Wasps. That ball was well trapped by Bolander, who extended out for it. We'll bring Sam Richards up. Richards batting .414. He'll send one into foul territory. 36 hits, 18 runs, in 87 at-bats for Richards. Unsuccessful pickoff attempt. That was the first one. Directed to Vance. Richards fouls one off, meaning Vance, who was going to steal second, will be forced to head back. Looking back at the Jordan-Salem Hills game yesterday. Talked about it, Jordan jumping out to that early lead, but then those 7 runs scored in the top of the 4th allowed Salem Hills to tie it up. They would add 1 more in the 5th to take the lead. But in the bottom of the 6th, the Beat Diggers would respond, taking a 12-10 lead. High flyer into left field is caught by Erickson as Richards is retired. So they'll bring back out Zaylen Fenn, the home run man, last time we saw him. But closing out that Salem Hills game. So we were tied at 12 heading into extra innings. 8 in the 9th, neither side could gain an edge. Both left runners on base. But then it was the 10th inning where Salem Hills was finally able to get some more hits. They would score 2 runs in that one. They had 19 hits in total. And they held Jordan scoreless in the bottom of the 10th to claim that 14-12 victory. Fenn batting .372. 32 hits, 86 at-bats, 18 runs scored. And now up to 4 home runs on the season. after his first at-bat. 0-2 the count facing Fenn. 1 out. Off Richards. Pop out. Fenn will foul another off to stay alive. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Our Region 9 battle has gotten off to a fun start, as this one's chopped and it'll be played. So Boucat got to it in time, but not quickly enough. He prevents it from being anything more than a single. But Fenn reaches base safely for the second time today. He's the first batter for either team to reach base in both of his plate appearances. I guess technically in the first one. Didn't stay there long, as he did just tap it after the homer. So we'll say the first one with 2 hits today. Cushing. He popped out the last time we saw him. He may do so here, and he will. Chet Wilson comes off third to retire Cushing in foul territory. Gonna bring up Cam Coburn. Reached base safely in his first plate appearance. He was the second run on the day for the Skyhawks. He'll pop this one up into center field, and it's caught by Swap. Wasps get out of the inning. They leave 2 stranded on base. It's the first time they've held the Skyhawks scoreless. We'll head into the 4th. Our score remains unchanged at UCCU ballpark. 3 innings in the books. In our first elimination game of 2 elimination games on the day here at 5A bracket play. It's our 3rd day of action. First 2 have been fun. Due up to face goal for the Wasps will be Jackson Bolander, Cole Zimmerman, and Peyton Swap. Bolander had the first hit of the day for his team after he rocketed one into right field. The advance was unable to play. Bolander's on the season. He's batting .488. 52 plate appearances. Has 21 hits, 6 runs. Brought in 8 as well. Bolander sends it high into center field. Unable to track it was Miller. So Bolander, it'll be a double. 2 big-time hits from Bolander, as he sent that one deep into center field. Cole Zimmerman returns. Zimmerman was retired at first. After he chopped it directly to Nelson. Speaking of Nelson, he'll foul it off. So Cole Zimmerman now due up, looking at Zimmerman, 300. The batting average, 60 at-bats, 18 hits, 8 runs scored. He's got a chance, if he gets a hold of this one, to add to his 11 RBIs on this year. Instead, it'll be a short foul out. That'll be caught. Charlie Cushing makes it our 2nd inning where we've had a ball played in foul territory. That's retired. Peyton Swap now due up. Swap. Got himself a double after he lifted one into left field. At the second out of the inning, as Swap will head to first after being hit. Gonna bring up Kelson Stocking, who struck out the last time we saw him. So Peyton Swap heads to first. Swap was batting .352 on the year. For Stocking, he's batting .262. Has 11 hits. Just one out in the inning. Count will go to 1-1. These two teams know each other so well. They're 2-2 on the season. We'll see who will take the decisive fifth match and end their opponent's season here. Goal checks back. Goal had 3 strikeouts through the first 9 batters. Hasn't had one since he last retired Stocking. Mound meeting over. Stocking's batting .262, as we talked about. They'll look to tie this one up, just one out in the inning. Goal, a turn, deliver. Pat Sulcer, the pinch runner at second. This drive will break through on a hop, and it'll bring in the tying run, but it actually will be close. So the Wasps score the tying run. As Pat Sulcer crosses home off the Stocking single. He lined it up the gut and brought in the tying run.
Now batting, playing second base, number 2, Jack Bluth.
That'll bring up Jack Bluth. Bluth, he brought in the first run of the day. The last time we saw him, he was retired at first after the high chopper, but still brought in a run.
Number 18, Zach Burdett.
Zach Burdett at first, pinch running. Two of the count, still just one out in the inning. Cole has been hit twice in this one. He'll deliver the first strike of the at-bat. Bluth swings, gets nothing. Bluth is batting .382 on the season. 68 at-bats, has 26 hits, 18 runs scored for himself, and also drove in 12. He'll try to avoid striking out here. He'll stay alive in the count, fouling one off. Bodies heading towards the bullpen of Salem Hills. Got to imagine it'll still be goals game for now. This chopper will break through. That's going to bring in the leading run. As crossing home was Swap. So Gold gives up his third hit of the inning and brings in his second run. So 2 runners remain on for Wasatch. Wasps have had a productive inning. This one's fouled off. They have the 3-2 lead. Goal facing Bluth. Nearly had Bluth, as Bluth had 2 strikes in the count, but instead he's able to drive in a run. Tragan Shaw's now due up for Shaw. He's batting .326. Shaw sends the low chopper. Opportunity for a double play is not made as Fenn couldn't secure the low delivery from Coburn. So that ball was thrown low by Cam Coburn. So it will be an error. Charge to the Skyhawks. I'll bring up Bukad with the bases loaded. Still just 1 out after the error. Bukad. He'll lift one into right field. He'll take a bounce in the dirt before it brings in 2 Wasps. The 4th run of the 4th inning scores as Wasatch takes a 4-2 lead. So Tragan Shaw now at third as Bluth and Stocking both scored off the hit. Going to see our first mound meeting for Salem Hills take place today. As assistant coach Andy Gold makes his way over to talk things over with his pitcher. It's the 2nd game in a row where the Wasps only scored 1 run in the first 2 innings, trailing early. But the 4th inning, as we talked about, has been their friend. They scored 7 in it yesterday. They already have 4 today and are poised to add more with just 1 out. Gonna bring Crew Erickson back out. Erickson 0-1 the count. This one a short chopper, out of position was Coburn. And that'll bring in another run for the Wasps. as the Skyhawks continue to come undone. That's the 5th run they've given up. And they were just out of position there as Coburn was playing too far over. Looked like at first he thought he had to cover second as he just misplayed it. So Chet Wilson comes back up. So Erickson to first. Bukad now at third. And still just one out in the count. In our 1-1 count. Going for second and making it with ease was Erickson. As DeGraff remained in goal, we're only trying to bait Bukad into going home. Three-1 the count. Goal in danger of loading the bases via the walk. Instead, it's a ball that's high chopped. Well played by goal. As he checked Bukad on third first before delivering the out that would retire Wilson to first. So Jackson Bollinger got things started in the 4th inning with a base hit. That was a double for him. He flew it out into center field. So Coach Haney is now going to come up and have a conversation on the mound. We'll see if this is it for goal. And it will be. Mason Warner gets the call on the mound. The right-hander will need just one more out to get his team out of what's been a challenging 4th inning, which they've already surrendered 5 runs. Bollinger, he led us off with a double into center field in the 4th inning. He's now come all the way back around as he batted around the order. Two-0 the count. Warner delivers to the outside. Saw Warner take on Olympus a little bit. That's where we also saw Corbin goal. In that one, Warner came in. He allowed a hit, 2 runs, and walked 2 batters in 3 faced. Still in search of his first strike as he's now 3-0 in the count. In danger of loading the bases. So it's Chet Wilson, who was retired before. It's Bollinger, who now heads to first. And our first out of the 5th inning was Cole Zimmerman. He's now due back up. Zimmerman's day so far. Fouled out the last time we saw him. In the 4th inning, in his first plate appearance on the day, he had the chopper directly to first baseman Zach Nelson. So bases loaded with 2 outs. 0-1 the count after the first strike of his mound appearance for Warner. Was Zimmerman hit? He was. So that'll walk in a run. The 6th of the inning. That'll bring back up Peyton Swaps. Speaking of hit by a pitch, that's what Swap was the last time we saw him. For that, he had the line drive double in the left field. One 0 the count. Now go to 2-0. After the high delivery to Swap. You know, it's tough in these weeks. Eventually, pitching depth can be hard to come by as Warner is struggling at the moment. He's only delivered 1 strike. And he'll deliver a pass ball that's going to bring in a run. Sliding safely across home base was Erickson. So Bolander now at third was Zimmerman to second, and Swap ahead in the count 3-0 after the wide pitch. See if the Skyhawks can respond. They now trail 8-2 after entering the inning. Ahead one, it was 2-1 Skyhawks when we entered. But it's the second day in a row that this Wasatch team has scored 7 runs in the 4th inning. And they're in a good position to add to it, as that's another ball delivery. Swap takes a rip at one. Back to full count now. Swap is retired. He goes down swinging. So Mason Warner finally stops the bleeding after 7 runs for the Wasps. They storm back to take the lead. It's an 8-2 game as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Skyhawks surrendered the lead. They have some work to do to get back into it, as it's an 8-2 lead for Wasatch. So it'll be Nolan Miller, Wyatt Hickman, and Zach Nelson, who all try to erase the deficit. Miller in yesterday's game, 4 plate appearances, struck out 3 times. Miller, though, did take over on the mound late and held the beat diggers without a run. He'll send this one in the left field. Or excuse me, those were Miller's numbers versus Olympus. So Miller actually yesterday was very productive. He had 6 at-bats, 3 hits, 2 runs, brought in a huge run late in the game actually. Did struck out twice, but man, what a productive day for Miller, and he gets another base hit. Hickman grounds one, opportunity for a double play, and the Wasps make it. Ball was fielded by Wilson, who got it to Bukad. Actually, it was Bluth, and then Bluth got it over to Bolander as Hickman grounds into the double play. Zach Nelson now due up. Last time we saw Nelson, he brought in the second run of the day. That was back in the bottom of the second. He'll lift this one high. Reminder, our second game today, the Bountiful Orem rematch. Due up at 1:30 at UCCU Ballpark. 2 outs now in the inning, with the watch very close to getting out of it, with Nelson falling to 0-2 in the count. Casey Anderson's been strong on the mound. Can he deliver? Instead, he'll deliver a hit ball that's easily caught by Boucad. Wasps get out of the inning extremely quickly. They maintained their 8-2 lead as they scored 7 runs in the top of the 4th. We'll see if the top of the 5th can be as productive. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Salem Hills once again makes a pitching change with Mac Wilson taking over for Mason Warner. So Kelson Stocking due up. He looked to build off of what was an extremely productive top of the 4th inning. One 0 the count. Now go to 2-0 after the pass ball. Stocking struck out in his first plate appearance. In his second, drove one in to center field. He might be able to do so again, as this one is going to drop perfectly in between right and center fielder Nolan Miller and Spencer Vance, as that's another base hit.
The second baseman, number 2, Jack Bluth.
So Jack Bluth now due up. Bluth, the last time we saw him, had a single that drove in another run after Stocking got that 4th inning started. His was also drilled into center field. Bluth showed bunt, then pulled back. 8 hits for the Wasps, 4 for Salem Hills, but they only have 2 runs to show for it. It's an 8-2 game in the top of the 5th. Bunt is a go. It's short and retired as Wilson makes the grab and gets it over to Nelson. That'll bring up Tragan Shaw. Last time we saw, he was able to reach first on a grounding error that loaded the bases.
The right fielder, number 15, Tragan Shaw.
Salem Hills was able to get 1 out pretty quickly in the second batter they faced back in that 4th inning, but their next one wouldn't come. Another 6 batters through the order. See if they can make quicker work. Shaw takes a hack, gets nothing. Wilson delivers. A ground ball that'll squeeze past a diving Nelson. Going for home, it's going to be close. It was fielded, and they got the tag out. So Luke DeGraffenried got it, reached over and made the play. As Stocking was coming for home. He was retired. That's the second out of the inning. Boucad now due up. Lone runner on first, but that was a great throw by Vance. Wilson delivers a pitch to the outside that allows Shaw to take second. Wilson, the senior, 117 the ERA. 4 appearances on the season, all in relief. 6 innings pitched in total. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of those earned. 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Currently 2-0. As he faces Boucad. 2 outs in the inning. As the shortstop will step back in. Wilson. Delivers another ball. Two on the count. Third ball delivered of the at-bat. Wilson will try to bring it to full count. And he'll reach full count. That one fouled off. By Boucad. Last time we saw Boucad, he brought in 2 runs after he dropped one in the dirt behind first. He nearly fouled it off, but he's still retired. Boucad goes down swinging. As that'll take us into our next inning as we continue play here at UCCU Ballpark. It'll be the bottom of the 5th. Skyhawks, they're trying to close the gap when we come back. Casey Anderson hasn't given up a run in 2 innings. They look to keep that streak alive in the bottom of the 5th. Salem Hills down to their last 9 outs as they look to erase the deficit. Start with Luke DeGraffenried. Then we'll turn it back over to Spencer Vance. Anderson. This one's popped high. Is it going to be unplayable? Making that catch was Erickson. Over the bullpen at first. He retires DeGraffenried. At the closest to a bullpen catch we've seen. Is that one nearly hit the pad, but instead was just a tad in front of it. Bring back Spencer Vance. Vance flew out in the left field in his first paid appearance. Then reached first on an error in his last at-bat. This one drilled into right field, but it will fall just foul as it takes a bounce and reaches the fence. 0-2 the count. Anderson's been strong all season, as he has today. 5.88 the ERA. 2-4 the record in 11 appearances on the season. Anderson 33-1 innings pitched. He's got 45 hits, 34 runs, 28 of those earned, and walked 16 batters to 19 strikeouts. He'll add another strikeout to his tally as he gets Vance to bite. Bring back Sam Richards, who's yet to reach base today. Flew out into center field the first time we saw him, then flew out into left field. That ball delivered just to the inside. So 2 outs once again for the Wasps as they've been sharp defensively. Ball will be fouled into the bullpen. One the count. Appeal down to first. They're going to say Richards did not swing, so Richards, one ball away from walking to first. Instead, he'll ground it foul. So full count with 2 outs. A reminder, our Bountiful Orem game scheduled for about an hour from now. 1:30 first pitch. Could be slightly delayed if this one needs more time to wrap up. But we're moving along with Casey Anderson dominating. He gets the huge strikeout and he's fired up. He retired Vance and Richards back-to-back to get his team out of the bottom of the 5th. We go into the 6th. The Wasps continue to look sharp at UCCU Ballpark. Welcome back inside to Utah Valley University, where Spencer Vance has been called to replace Mac Wilson on the mound. So Vance takes over on the mound. And in center field now.
Now pitching for Salem Hills is number 23, Spencer Vance.
Can't make out the center right fielder at the moment.
Number 9, Jack Guest.
So Jack Guest, actually, the assist
Number 14,
from our friend Jed, the PA announcer. So Jack Guest goes into right field. So Crew Erickson due up for the 4th time today. He'll get our 6th inning underway. Wasps well in control of this one. Ground ball is hit up. Diving on it is Coburn, but can't get it over to first in time off the ground. Erickson once again reaches base. That'll bring up Chet Wilson. Wilson, yet to reach base today.
number 5, Chet Wilson.
Wilson, the only batter for his team yet to do so. Struck out in his first appearance, flew out into left field in his second, and then hit one directly to Warner in his second plate appearance. He shows bunt at the moment with Erickson settled on first. He'll keep the bunt. It'll go to first, and they'll flip it up and get the out. Retiring Wilson off the sacrifice bunt. Bring up Jackson Bolander. Bolander has a triple, a double, and a walk on his day. Home run and a single away from the cycle.
Jackson Bol-
So first out of the inning captured. Off the high fallen bunt attempt. Vance hits Bolander. So Cole Zimmerman, who was also hit by a pitch earlier, and Peyton Swap, who will now be on deck, who was also hit by a pitch, all due up. Just one out in the inning with the DH. Cole Zimmerman due up in his first 2 plate appearances. Grounded out to first, then fouled out into left field. He'll look to reach base again. With 2 runners on now for Wasatch. That pitch well inside from Vance. Zimmerman. That's another ball pass. So Spencer Vance gets called to the mound. According to Max Preps, does not have stats, so unaware of how many appearances Vance has made on the season, but assuming it's not many. But Coach Haney decided to call in his leadoff batter. See if he can help his team get off to a strong start in the 6th. This one will be sent directly up to Zaylen Fenn, who gets the grab. Off the line drive.
Number 21, Peyton Swap.
So Peyton Swap returns. Swap struck out the last time we saw him, was also hit by a pitch. He batted 2 times around in that productive 4th inning. He had a double to get his day going into left field on the line drive as he fouls the first pitch off. Swap avoids the pitch. 1-1 our count. It's been a fun week here at Utah Valley University. Have 8 games in the books, with our 9th currently underway here. Swap takes a hack, gets nothing, 1-2 the count. Vance trying to get his first strikeout of the day. Swap struck out last time. What'll he do here? He was nearly hit in the head by the pitch as he ducked his head. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on in our 8-2 game. Spencer Vance set to deliver to his fellow outfielder, Peyton Swap. Swap smokes it high. Looks like it's going to be unplayable, or it actually won't be. Slowing up for it was Cushing, who gets the grab and retires Wasatch. So we'll move into the bottom of the 6th. Skyhawks are down to their last 6 outs on the season, and we'll look to see if they can mount a comeback. Due up for Salem Hills is going to be Sam Richards, then Zaylen Fenn and Charlie Cushing. Or, excuse me, Richards was our last strikeout, so it'll actually be Fenn due up first. So Fenn, Cushing, and Coburn. Fenn lifts one high. And it's an easy out for Swap. That'll end the 2-hit streak for Fenn. Charlie Cushing now due up. Cushing's yet to reach base today. He popped out to Bouquet at short in his first plate appearance, then popped out to Wilson in foul territory in his second. Over an hour and a half into our game here. Just 5 outs left for Salem Hills. And if they're unable to score runs, they'll be headed home. Foul chopper. If Wasatch was to go on to win, or if Salem Hills mounts a comeback, they'll take on Olympus at 4:30 today. Reminder, our Bountiful Orm rematch set for 1:30. The first game in that matchup was played on Monday. This one lifted into right field. It'll take a lie on a bounce. Oh, to the count. And Cushing smoked it. Bring up Cam Coburn. With Cushing settled on first. He sends it high. Will it be in foul territory? That was in. So it bounced just on the green. It's about as close to a ball in as you will see. As the high riser drops into right field. For Coburn. So that one drops just in front of the line. That'll bring up Nolan Miller. The center fielder laced one into left field when we last saw him. He'll avoid the pitch. Back-to-back outside deliveries from Anderson. Anderson's been sharp today. He's got 3 strikeouts. Hasn't surrendered a run since the second inning. Hard to come by pitching this strong in your 3rd game of the week. But the Wasps in a good position. But not after that pitch. That'll advance Cushing to third. Coburn to second. There's some action underway in the bullpen of the Wasps. 3-0 the count. Anderson in danger of loading the bases up. It's a 6-run lead for the Wasps. That acquired off 10 hits. Only 6 at the moment for the Skyhawks. Able to find the strike zone is Anderson. Yesterday, the 7th inning was the productive one for Salem Hills, where they scored 7. Today, it's the Wasp who scores 7 in the 4th. Full count after Anderson delivers back-to-back strikes to Miller, the first of which he fouled off. First of which he let pass, the second of which he fouled off. Three-two pitch. This one launched, but making the grab in center field is Swap. Gonna tag up going for home. And make it. So Miller's sacrifice fly to center field brings in Cushing with Cam Coburn going to third.
Number 7, Wyatt Hickman.
Wyatt Hickman. Now come up to home plate. So 2 outs now for Salem. Anderson delivers a second strike that's fouled off. So Wyatt Hickman, the left fielder. He's at 0-2, looking to avoid striking out and ending the inning for Salem. Anderson. It's a high popped up ball in the left field. That's misplayed by Erickson. So that's going to be at least a triple. A huge triple from Wyatt Hickman. What looked like an easy out. Ball was misplayed by Erickson. That brings in another run for Salem. Big time triple. Zach Nelson now comes in. So it's now just a 4-run game after the 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Nelson. First strike passes him. This grounder will break through. Scoring another run for Salem. They now trail Wasatch by just 3. This one's not over yet. So Luke DeGraffenried now due up. DeGraffenried launches one into left field, and it's gone. The 2-run shot. Skyhawks coming to life in the bottom of the 6th. They've scored 5 runs. DeGraffenried destroyed it. It's a 1-run ball game as he taps home. Salem Hills storms back. And what'll end the day for Casey Anderson as he gives up the homer. 2-run shot by DeGraffenried will do it. We'll let you know who comes in the place of Casey Anderson when we return. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. It was a strong outing for Casey Anderson, but he let it slip in the bottom of the 6th. So Gage Sheesh will come in his place, taking over on the mound for Wasatch. He's due up to face Spencer Vance. Last time we saw Vance in this inning, or was Vance in the previous inning who struck out to end it? Fenn was the one who started this inning flying out into right field, but since then, it's been a lot of hits, as it's been quite the 2-out rally. So it'll be Vance, then Richards. So Richards and Fenn got it started out with the 2 outs of the inning. As we get straightened out here, Vance was the last one to end the bottom of the 5th. He represents the tying run. Sheesh delivers a high ball, 2-1 the count. Salem Hills came storming back in yesterday's game. Have an opportunity to do so here. But 3-1 the count. Man, DeGraffenried, how about that 2-run homer? The walk by Richards. By Vance will bring up Richards. It's the 4th time we'll have seen Richards today. He's yet to reach base today. He was the first out of this inning. He'll look to continue the strong run his team is on. Tying run at first. 9 hits for the Skyhawks. It's now 10 for the Wasps. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful at first. Richards moves to 3-0 in the count. Sheesh struggling early. There is more action underway in the bullpen for Wasatch. They have an opportunity here where if Richards scores and they're able to get 3 outs, then that would mean we wouldn't even need the bottom of the 7th. Just a miraculous turnaround for Salem Hills. .3-0 the count, and that's a walk. Sheesh struggling early. Sheesh on first. Vance at second, both there via the walk. Zaylen Fenn has one home run already today. He had one on Monday night versus Olympus. Can he get his 3rd home run of the tournament here? The pitcher and shortstop awaits the delivery. So Gage Sheesh has struggled early. It's now the 9th ball he's delivered. Not even 3 batters in. He's able to find the strike zone, bringing the count to 1-1. Wasps just need 1 out to get out of it. She sets, delivers. Fenn sends it. It's going to drop. Misplaying it was Tragan Shaw. He made a diving attempt at it. That'll mean Peyton Swap will have to come over from center field. Fenn slides in. He's got a triple. Salem Hills just captured the lead. What a huge hit by Fenn and a devastating mistake for Tragan Shaw, who misplayed the ball. He tried to be the hero and make the diving save, but instead it lets pass him. 7 runs scored for the Skyhawks. This is the first game this week where we've had 7 runs scored by 2 teams in the same game in 2 separate innings. Bullpen of the Skyhawks so rowdy, they had to be calmed down by our home plate umpire. 7 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Wow, Salem Hills. Fenn has a home run. Had a base hit the last time we saw him and a triple there. Very close to the cycle. That'll bring up Cushing. .1-0 the count. A ground ball will pass by the diving Bullender at first. That one will reach all the way to the fence. So the double brings in Fenn. An elated Fenn runs around, taking high fives from all of the bullpen. There's 8 runs now scored in the 6th. Coach Jacobson looks to be making another hitting change. So 11 hits now on the day. So Sheesh is done. We'll let you know who the Wasps call on to come in his place. And we'll see if they can finally get out of this dreaded 6th inning. 8 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Skyhawks have taken the 10-8 lead. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Blake Sweat takes the mound for Wasatch. Cam Coburn due up. It's the 2nd time this inning we've seen Coburn. But it's just been such a productive inning for the Skyhawks. You look at Cushing, got the hit started, sending one to first. Then Coburn, Miller and Hickman brought in runs. Nelson landed on first. And then DeGraff and Reed drilled the homer to tie the game. Then Fenn brought in the 2 runs to give his team the 1-run lead. And Cushing brought in Fenn. All that equaling to the 10-8 lead. Sweat struggling early. He's 2-0 in the count. Sweat gets Coburn to foul one off. Our second game, Bountiful versus Orem, may very well be slightly delayed, as this game is as it's 12:58 right now. So we'll see if the Wasps can score the 2 runs they need to send it into what would be extra innings potentially, or just force the bottom of the 7th. But either way, our second game will be up at about 30 to 40 minutes after this one. Two the count, 2 outs. Sweat looking for the strikeout. We'll have full count off the high delivery. Coburn. Lines one. That squeezes past Wilson. That's going to bring in another Skyhawks run. Or will it? And it will. As bodies collide. So Cushing makes it home off the Coburn grounder. His second hit of the inning for Coburn. Cushing crossed home just as Stocking was trying to secure the ball. The ball bounced off Stocking. Ended up hitting Coburn, but of course it wasn't secured by Stocking, so not an out. So now 11-8 the game, 9 runs in the bottom of the 6th. The Salem Hills team just continues to fight back when they are down. Gonna have a pinch runner come on for Coburn. Pinch running for Salem Hills will be Grant Holt. Due up now. It's going to be a pinch hitter. Pinch hitting. As it's Nolan Miller, actually. Miller awaits the delivery. He'll send one high into right field. Will this drop, or could it finally be the out? It just fell into foul territory. It was nearly another 2-run homer by the Skyhawks. This is a Skyhawks team that came back from down 9 versus Jordan yesterday. They were down 6 today. Just the resilience of this team. Coach Haney has to be thrilled. One, two, the count. Sweat looking for the strikeout. Instead, it's another ball that's ripped into right field. It won't bring in a run, but it'll bring Holt all the way to third. Coach Haney's squad just lighting up the bats. Have more bodies in the bullpen for the Wasps as Coach McKay Jacobson may be forced to turn someone else. Wyatt Hickman be due up now after Miller sent that one into right field. So once again, it was Sam Richards and Zalen Fenn who were retired, the first 2 batters of this 6th inning. And since then, it's been nothing but Skyhawks. 9 runs after those 2 outs. They've gone around the order and then some. 11-8 our score remains, still 2 outs. Gonna wait a moment as Bluth will tie his shoe. This Salem Hills team showed so much fight getting back into this game. 1-1 the count. After Hickman takes a hack and gets nothing. Last time we saw Hickman in this inning, he had a triple that brought in a run. For that, he hit into the double play. Currently at 0-2 in the count. This might finally bring the inning to the end. See if Blake Sweat can get his team out of it here. Won't come on the low delivery, bringing the count to 2-2. "13 hits for Salem. On the game, Hickman. Another ball delivered low by Sweat. Full count. So Miller was the one who actually flew out to center. And that's another home run. What a comeback by Salem Hills. Hickman just smothered it. Destroyed it into left field. This is an unbelievable game. The comeback is unlike anything I've ever seen. This is 14-8 now. The Skyhawks have scored 12 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Off the Hickman homer, 2 more added. That one launched into right field. Gonna have another mound meeting. See if Blake Sweat's gonna be done, so they'll make another change. 14-8 our score. We'll see who's up now for Wasatch as they make another mound shift. When we come back, you're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Wasps will now turn to Garrett Baxter, who will take over the mound in what's just been an incredible run by Salem Hills. 12 runs in the bottom of the 6th. They enter this inning trailing 8-2. Since then, it's been monumental hit after monumental hit. We had Luke DeGraffenried had the 2-run homer. Then Zaylen Fenn brought in the run that allowed them to take the lead as they led 9-8. And Cushing brought him in, allowing to take another lead and then come all the way back down. And Wyatt Hickman's huge homer makes this a 14-8 game. It's been a wild performance. Coach Haney has to love what his squad's been able to accomplish. Garrett Baxter now due up. Garrett Baxter set to deliver. I don't know if this is a good omen that the Wasp may be able to get out of the inning in a moment, but a Wasp has just entered my booth. So, very well could be a good sign, as we'll see if Baxter can finally stop the improbable run. This one sails high into right field, and it's going to drop. The ball just continues to elude Wasatch. They cannot get out of this dreaded inning. So that was Nelson with the base hit. Luke DeGraffenried comes back up. He had the first home run of the inning. It was a 2-run shot. This is one of those games where if you're a writer, you think you understand the story, you think you know it's going to play out. I'm guilty of it. I had started to talk about Wasatch playing at 4:30 today, and instead it's been an unbelievable Salem Hills comeback. So erased any narrative going into the bottom of the 6th we had. DeGraffenried takes a hack, gets nothing, 1-1 the count. DeGraffenried pops one up. Could this finally be the out? Swap. He'll secure it. 12 runs in the bottom of the 6th for the 12th-seeded Salem Hills Skyhawks. They lead 14-8. Wasatch is down to their final 3 outs. They'll need to score 6 runs if they want to get back into this one. We'll see if they can do it when we come back. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Salem Hills was unstoppable. 12 runs in the inning. What a performance from the Skyhawks.
Leading off for Wasatch, number 23, Kelson.
11 hits in total in that inning. So Kelson Stocking now due up. So it'll be Stocking, Bluth, and Shaw. The Wasatch hopes of another comeback rests on them. Came back from down 2-1 earlier, but of course this is a different animal. The Storm from Salem Hills, 12 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Still hard to believe they were able to do it. There were 2 home runs in there. 12 runs brought in off the hot bats of the Skyhawks. Spencer Vance still on the mound. He'll wind and hit. So Stocking, after being hit by a pitch, heads to first. A reminder, our second game of the afternoon will be Orem versus Bountiful. That game's slated for 1:30. Will be moved, so look at a 1:45 to 1:50 start time right now, depending on how this one wraps up. It'll be 30 minutes after our game here concludes. Bluth, that's the inside ball pass. Multiple bodies warming up for the Skyhawks in the mound. Bluth lifts one into left field. It's high, and it'll be caught by Miller. 2 outs remain.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 18, Garrett Holt. Pinch hitting for Wasatch, number 16, Jackson Sorensen.
Jackson Sorensen is going to pinch hit. For Tragan Shaw here. Sorensen awaits the Vance delivery. Strike one passes for Vance. It's been an incredible game between the 12th-seeded Salem Hills Skyhawk and 13th-seeded Wasatch Wasps. Sorensen bites on the second pitch, 0-2 the count. Vance looking for the strikeout. Sorensen swings, and his retired. 1 out remaining for Salem. Spencer Vance with the huge K. Alex Gutierrez now comes up. Then it'll be Crew Erickson in the top of the order. If they can extend the inning. But Skyhawks just 1 out away from ending the Wasp season and advancing to take on Olympus later today. Outside pitch delivered for Salem. Talked about it. Salem wasn't even supposed to be here. Not only are they the 12th seed, but just that early 10-1 lead. And then to win it in extras versus the 3 seed in Jordan, just incredible. 0-1 the count, Gutierrez. He'll drive it. And the line drive will squeeze into center field. So 2 runners now on base. With Crew Erickson, who had a home run in yesterday's game, now due up. Erickson has been a struggle for him. In his first 2 at-bats, he was able to reach base, but in the latter 2, he straightened his day out, so 2 for 4. So strong day after the early struggles. Erickson looks to keep the Wasp seasons alive. Erickson allows the inside ball through. 1-0 the count. Runners on second and first. This is 2 outs, is where Salem Hills started their huge run. Wasps will try to do the same here. They'll need 6 if they want to get back into it and tie the game. High delivery from Vance. Two-0 the count. Erickson awaits a delivery from Vance. He was earlier the right fielder. Now he takes the mound. A chance to secure the win for his team. First strike passes Erickson. With 2 outs, you got to imagine Erickson will be protective of home plate. Another one delivered in the zone. 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Spencer Vance, he'll look to close it here. Outside delivery will bring it to full count. Erickson trying to extend the season of the Wasps, give his team a chance to come back. Vance, he'll look to end the game here. But first, Vance will keep the base runners honest, checking both. Spencer Vance. One's lifted into center field. It'll drop. So bases are loaded. With Chet Wilson due up. Vance was the hero in yesterday's game at the plate. The huge grand slam. Now Chet Wilson due up. Wilson had a home run back on Monday. His team's still down. 6 runs, but a great chance to drive some in. Wilson has struggled today. Been retired in all 4 of his plate appearances. He looked to turn things around as he'll wait and then call for time. Vance delivers the low ball 1. Wilson. That was another high ball to pass. Vance in danger of walking in the first run. 2-out rally a go here for Wasatch. Vance his third straight ball. We'll see if he can fight back in the count. Vance delivers strike one. See if he can send in another strike to bring it to full count or force Wilson to put it in play. That's an inside pitch, so it walks in. The first run for Wasatch, 9-14 our score now. Going to see DeGraff and Reed come out, talk things over with Vance. Jackson Bollinger has had an unbelievable day. Had a triple in his first plate appearance. Then had the double when he sent one into center field. Was walked and hit by a pitch the last 2 times we saw him. See if he can have another strong hit here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bollinger. That's the inside ball pass. Bollinger sends one that's off the glove of Fenn. And that'll bring in another run. The bases will remain loaded. So 10-14 our score. Wasatch with 2 runs. We've got 2 outs in the inning, but they've closed the gap. The bases remain loaded. A grand slam here from Cole Zimmerman would tie the game. 2 outs. Zimmerman. That's the high pitch pass. There's no one warming up in the bullpen. This game in Vance's hands. We'll see what he can do with it. He's allowed 2 runs so far. A grounder is fielded by Coburn. Gets it to first. Salem Hills takes it. They storm back with 12 runs in the bottom of the 6th. And defeat the Wasps 14-10, your final. What a performance by Coach Haney and his squad. Wasatch loses a heartbreaker. They led 8-2 going into the bottom of the 6th, but the bats got hot for the Skyhawks. Luke DeGraff and Reed had the 2-run homer. Hickman, Miller both drove in runs. Fenn had a huge day, a home run in the first, drove in 2 as well. Charlie Cushing had the 2-run homer, had 2 runs brought in as well, and just an incredible day for Salem Hills as they make the comeback. They give up 2 runs in the top of the 7th, but they hold on to knock off the Wasps. So your final, 14-10, the 12th seed, the Salem Hills Skyhawks defeat the 13th ranked Wasatch Wasps and end their season. So the Skyhawks will go on to play Olympus at 4:30 today in that rematch. But what a game we had on here. 12 runs in the bottom of the 6th, the difference. Your final, Salem Hills 14, Wasatch 11. Our next game will be due up at about 2 o'clock, 1:55, right in that range. It'll be Orm Bountiful playing for the 2nd time. We appreciate all of you tuned in for our first matchup of the day, and what a game it was. I'm JT Wistersill. We thank you for watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind.